You might be wondering why I'm standing in front of a couple pieces of furniture under a tree out in a yard. Well, that is for me to tell you right now. So I've had these furniture pieces for a while, except for this one, and I wanted to upgrade them because I need to figure out the storage of my office a little bit better and, I don't know, make them look a little nicer. So this little puppy right here, I don't remember when I got it. Yeah, I really don't remember the story behind it. I think it's probably Facebook Marketplace. Fun thing about this, ta-da! Yeah, so it folds down, which is super nice. I think it's just really cute, and I kind of want to put it like under my desk, and then I can pull it out if I need more surface space. Only problem with it is it's white, and the paint has chipped quite a bit, so I'm going to try to citrus strip off this white paint, and then I'm going to sand and stain it to kind of match more of the colors of my office, and I think it'll just look a lot better not white. And I'm not going to paint it another color. I really want to see, this feels like solid wood, so I really want to see it in its, excuse me, in its solid wood face. Okay. Oh, didn't see it there. This little guy I've probably had for probably since I was, a young child. Yeah, it just doesn't, again, it's white, doesn't really suit my aesthetic anymore. I don't know, maybe would look good in like a baby room. But yeah, to upgrade this, I'm going to pop off these symbols, which they're kind of cute. They're kind of funny because I am like, I do a lot of graphic design as well, and could be funny because they're symbols. Anyway, so I'm gonna pop these off, paint the whole thing green in a beautiful green color that I got from a friend, and then I'm gonna put my own handles on it, and then yeah, should be some good storage there. So yeah, all right. For forever now, I've wanted an apothecary cabinet, which are super hard to find and are usually, around the $500 range and up, depending if you want something this size. So this is kind of an apothecary cabinet. Found this from Facebook Marketplace, got it for $50, and I just really wanted something with a lot of drawers, some way to organize like Etsy products, maybe tools, crafting supplies, something in a aesthetic, vintagey, grungy way, that's not just like plastic bins that we have a lot of. So for this, I'm not gonna do a whole lot. It's pretty cheap material. I mean, these drawers don't fully fit quite right, and they're like made out of chipboard. Oh, yeah, I'll throw that away, I promise. Just like cheap chipboard. There's no sliding mechanics. Ugh. So what I'm gonna do is line the edges of the chipboard in like a wood printed vinyl. Might just make it look cleaner, might help it slide out a little bit better, and then I'm going to line the bottom in fabric and swap out all the hardware. These are cute knobs, but I want the kind of like apothecary cabinet poles that have the area for like a label, because I want to be able to label all of these with what is in them. So nothing to the exterior except for the handles, and then yeah, it's all like interior work. So I'm gonna get to it then. I'm starting off strong with my biggest furniture piece. I'm taking some fake wood grain vinyl that I got from work and lining the insides. I did measure beforehand. Then I'm wrapping the vinyl around to the other side, again hoping that it will help the drawers slide better. For the fabric insert, I'm making a paper pattern to cut out my rectangles. This didn't work super well because every drawer was very jank and not all the same size, so I think I ended up just winging it in the end. But I had really good intentions. Once I had all my cut fabric pieces, I used spray 77 to adhere them to the bottom of the drawers. For the handles, I used the original handle holes to center my new poles and marked where the holes would be. Then simply drilled out those holes and screwed in my hardware. Repeat this a million times. Oh boy, the table. I thought stripping paint would be easy peasy. All of those DIY videos made it look like a piece of cake, but let me tell you, this was not easy. Looking back, I think I needed to put way more citrus strip on it, but honestly, I wouldn't even recommend citrus strip. It looks fun, it's a pretty color, and the texture is nice, but definitely get something stronger. When I peeled off the paint, it left a lot behind. Again, I think because I didn't have enough citrus strip on there. Because I was so frustrated by the paint stripping, my husband kindly took the table to work and used a sandblaster to sand away most of the remaining paint. There were a few specks left, so I hand sanded those bits or used a knife or some kind of chisel to chip away any difficult bits of paint. Staining was the best part. I love staining. I used a rag to stain because I really wanted to work the stain into the wood, and the brush just wasn't doing it for me. I wanted a really rich, dark hazelnut color, so I did have to put the stain on in a few layers. I think I did 2 or 3 layers. I did seal the wood with a polyacrylic coating. I should have used a paint roller. I saw a lot of DIYs where they used a roller instead of a brush to avoid brushstroke marks, but I made do by lightly sanding the polyacrylic once it dried and doing multiple layers. I think I did 3 or 4 coats. I also used liquid sandpaper between coats to help make it smoother. I tried cleaning up the hardware a tad by soaking it in acetone. The acetone helped take the paint off, but not the rust. I could have done more to clean the rust, but you don't even see the hardware, and I was getting sick of this table, so I did the bare minimum. After ripping off the symbols, I lightly sanded the surface of the cabinet. I was going to use a textured paint, so I wasn't that concerned with making a fully smooth surface, but I did go over the whole cabinet with some white paint and primer spray paint. The green paint needed several coats for full coverage, but the gritty texture did help hide any brush strokes, which was super nice. For the handles, I found the center by making markings on the 2 diagonals, and the X marked the spot for me to drill. Perhaps you recognize the handles? I repurposed the handles from the large cabinet for this cabinet, and they worked perfectly. I thought the plain green was a little boring, so I painted some wispy brown strokes sort of reminiscent of branches and painted on some white flowers, loosely inspired by Scandinavian art. And finally, after a full year, I have finished these furniture projects. You won't be able to tell, but yes, I think I started these projects last fall, and it is currently November of 2025. I don't really know what took me so long. I mean, this table for sure was the toughest thing. Getting all the paint off was a challenge for sure. And I don't know, yeah, that took me a while, but the green cabinet took me maybe 5 hours, and the larger cabinet, well, yeah, it was a little time consuming, but not bad at all. But I'm really happy with how everything turned out. They're gonna fit so well in their respective areas. I wore green and brown to match my green and brown furniture. I don't know how many more furniture projects I'll be doing in the future. I don't have room for furniture in my house, but it was fun. It's not my favorite thing. Upcycling, I bless all those people who upcycle, especially people who strip paint. That was very challenging, and I am curious to see if I could do it better another time, because it is very satisfying, and the end result is totally worth it. Yeah, I certainly lost my patience with the sanding and finishing process for the table. But yeah, very happy, and thank you for joining me on this journey that did end up taking a year. Thankfully, it's only going to be about 15 minutes on your end. And we'll see you on the next one.